Crazy Paella, Chapter 1. Getting ready. Daniel, I'm here. Julia calls. She is at the front door of the house. What is it, Julia? I reply. We're going to Spain today. You remembered, right? Of course I did. I'm packing. I call. My name is Daniel. I'm 24 years old. Julia is my sister. She is 23. We're both at university. We share a house in London. Our parents are Arthur and Sarah Bell. Julia and I are getting ready for a trip. We're going to Barcelona, Spain. We're both earning degrees in Spanish. We already know a lot of the language, but we want to learn more. We're going to be exchange students this term. I'm tall, about 6 feet. I have longish brown hair. My eyes are green and I have a wide mouth. I have a strong build. My legs are strong due to hours on the tennis courts. I'm a very good basketball player as well. My sister Julia also has brown hair. Her hair is longer than mine. She doesn't have green eyes. She has brown eyes like my dad. I have the same color eyes as my mum. My parents both work. My dad is an electrician. He works for a major electric company. My mum is a writer. She also owns a company. It sells science fiction books. My parents are really great. They always help us to reach our goals. They both speak Spanish well. They often speak to us in Spanish. It helps Julia and I practice. They really encouraged us to become exchange students. We're leaving for Spain today. My dad comes in my room. He looks at me in surprise. Why? Because I'm not dressed. Daniel, why aren't you dressed? Dad asks. Dressed. I just got up. I had a shower 5 minutes ago. I'm not even dry yet. Single quote. Come on, we don't have much time. I want to take you to the airport. But I have to go to work, too. Single quote. Don't worry, Dad. I'm getting dressed now. Where's your sister? She's in her room. Single quote. My dad goes into my sister's room. He wants to talk to her. He enters and Julia looks at him. Oh. Hi, Dad. Do you need something? Asks Julia. Yes. Your brother's getting dressed. Here. My dad gives Julia a wad of cash. I want you to both have this. Single quote. Julia is surprised. Dad. There's a lot of money here. She says. Your mother and I have saved this money. We want to pay for part of your trip to Spain. Single quote. Thanks, Dad. Says my sister. It will be very useful. I'm going to tell Daniel. Single quote. Julia turns to leave. She almost runs into me. She and Dad didn't notice that I was coming in. My dad sees me. Oh. Daniel, you're here. He says. And you're dressed. Great. Single quote. My dad points to the money. That money is for the two of you. It's to help with the trip. Single quote. Thanks, Dad. It'll be really helpful, I reply. Julia smiles. Now we must get ready, Dad says. We have to leave for the airport. Come on. Single quote. Shortly after we eat, we leave the house. We head for the airport in Mum's car. Julia is very nervous. Julia, Mum says, are you all right? I'm really nervous, Julia answers. Why? I don't know anybody in Spain. I'll only know Daniel. Don't worry, Mum replies. There are a lot of very nice people in Barcelona, especially Daniel's friend Armando. Single quote. Yes, Mum, I'm sure you're right. But I still feel nervous. What if something happens? Single quote. It will be all right, says Dad. At the airport there are lots of people checking in. Many of them are traveling for work. Some are traveling for fun. I go over to Julia. Then I ask, are you more relaxed now? Single quote. Yes, Daniel. I was really nervous in the car. Yes, I know. But everything's going to be fine. My friend Armando is really nice. He often helps exchange students like us. Our parents hug us warmly. We all wave goodbye as Julia and I leave. We love you both. They call. That's the final thing we hear. An hour later, our plane takes off. We are headed for Barcelona. Chapter 1 Review. Summary. Daniel and Julia are students. They live in London. They study Spanish at university. They are going to Spain today. They will be exchange students in Barcelona. Their parents take them to the airport. Julia is very nervous in the car. She relaxes at the airport. She and Daniel leave for Spain. Vocabulary. Exchange student, a student studying in another area or country. Electrician, someone whose job is to put in or repair electrical equipment. Science fiction, stories that take place in an imagined future or in other parts of the universe. Shower, a piece of bathroom equipment that produces a flow of water that you stand under to wash yourself. Airport, a place where passengers get on and off aircraft. Wad of cash, a pile of paper money. Head for slang, go to. Nervous, worried or frightened. Check in for a flight, to tell the people at an airport that you have arrived. Relaxed, feeling calm, comfortable and not worried. Hug, to put your arms around someone and hold them. Take off, when an aeroplane leaves the ground and goes up into the air. Comprehension questions, select one answer only for each question. 1. Daniel and Julia live in ____. A. The same house in London. B. Different houses in London. C. The same house in Barcelona. D. Different houses in Barcelona. 2. Daniel and Julia's parents ____. A. Speak Spanish, but they don't practice with their children. B. Speak Spanish and practice with their children. C. Don't speak Spanish. D. Don't live in London. 3. Daniel and Julia's father gives them a present for the trip. What is it? A. A car. B. A trip to the airport. C. A science fiction book. D. Money. 4. During the trip to the airport, Julia feels ____. A. Sad. B. Happy. C. Nervous. D. Frightened. 5. At the airport, there are ____. A. Are a lot of Daniel's friends. B. Are a lot of business people. C. Aren't many people. D. Are a lot of children. Chapter 2. Spain. Our plane lands in Barcelona. My friend Armando is waiting at the airport. Hi, Daniel. He says. He gives me a big hug. I'm so happy you're here. Single quote. Hi, Armando. It's great to see you. I reply. Armando looks at my sister Julia. I introduce them. Armando, my friend. This is my sister Julia. Single quote. Armando turns to Julia. He kisses her on each cheek. Hi, Julia. Pleased to meet you. Single quote. My sister is very shy. She's especially shy when she meets new people. Hello, Armando, she says. Her face turns red. Then she becomes quiet. Your sister is really shy, isn't she? Armando says to me, smiling. Yes, she is, but she's lovely, I say. A short while later we head for Armando's flat. We are staying there for the term. We get a taxi. After 30 minutes, we arrive in Barcelona center. The taxi costs €41.50. Armando says it is the usual rate to this section of the city. We pay for the taxi and get out. It's a short walk to Armando's flat. It's June and it is really hot. But there is a nice wind to cool us. We arrive at the flat at lunchtime. My sister and I are really hungry. Armando, I say, where can we eat? Single quote. There are a couple of good restaurants in the area. What types of food do they have? One of the restaurants, La Paella Loca, has a great paella. I really recommend it. You can take the bus there. The other one has lovely fish. It's just next door. Single quote. Julia, do you want to have paella? I ask my sister. Yes. I'm so hungry. She replies. Armando can't come with us. He is a teacher and he has a class. So Julia and I head for the paella restaurant. It's a short walk to the bus station. Now, which bus goes to the paella restaurant? I ask Julia. I don't know. She replies. Let's ask. She points to a man in a white shirt. We walk over to the man. He smiles. Hello. Can I help you? Hi. How do we get to La Paella Loca restaurant? I ask. It's easy. The number 35 bus goes in that direction. It goes right to La Paella Loca. However, there's a small problem. Single quote. What's that? I ask. That bus is normally packed at this time. Okay. Thank you. We say. As we walk to the nearest bus stop, Julia and I talk. She is not comfortable with taking the bus. Daniel, she says, let's just eat at the fish restaurant. It's easier. I don't want to take a packed bus. Single quote. I know. I begin. Then I have an idea. Wait. I'll take the bus to La Paella Loca. You go to the fish restaurant. Single quote. Why? Because that way we can compare the two restaurants. Oh. Good idea. Okay. Enjoy. I'll call your mobile later, she calls and walks off. I get on the next bus and sit down. I'm very tired. I quickly go to sleep. The bus system in Barcelona is very good. I know there is nothing to worry about. I wake up a while later. The bus has stopped. There's no one else on it, except for the driver. Excuse me, I say. Where are we? Single quote. We've arrived in Valencia, he replies. What? Valencia. We're in Valencia. How can that be? I say. Well, this is the express bus. It goes directly from Barcelona to Valencia, he tells me. I can't believe it. I took the wrong bus. But what can I do? I thank the driver and get off the bus. Then I take out my mobile. I want to call my sister, but I can't turn it on. My battery has died. I check my watch. It's just after 5 o'clock in the afternoon. My sister doesn't know where I am. She must be really worried. I have to contact her. I need a phone box. I ask a woman on the street for a phone box. There's one, she says, pointing. It's just over there. Single quote. I thank her and head for the phone box. But when I get there, I realize something. Julia's phone number is in my mobile's memory. I can't turn my mobile on. I finally have a phone, but I don't have a number. Now what? I think for a while. Then I realize something. I'm really hungry. I haven't eaten since breakfast. I decide to find a restaurant. I can think about my problems later. I find a restaurant up the street. The waiter comes to my table. Good evening, he says happily. Good evening, I reply. What would you like? He asks slowly in Spanish. I look quickly at the menu. I'd like paella, I say in Spanish. Sorry, I didn't understand you, he answers in Spanish. I try again. My Spanish can't be that bad. I'd like paella. I point madly at the word paella on the menu. Then I say it again in English. Finally, the waiter then smiles and says in English, thanks. I'm not from here. I'm new and my Spanish isn't that great. I start to laugh very loudly. A lot of people in the restaurant turn and look. At this point, I'm embarrassed. I didn't need to laugh so loudly. But I don't care. It's all too much. This whole situation is just so strange. My sister and I wanted to have paella together. And now here I am, eating paella. But alone in Valencia. And my sister doesn't know where I am. It's so ironic. I finish dinner and pay the bill. Then reality sinks in. What do I do now? My mobile doesn't work. There is a phone box, but I don't have my sister's number. What can I do? Then I remember. I can call London. I know the number to my mum and dad's house. I go back to the phone box. I call my parents' number. It rings 4 times. Finally my mum says, hello. Single quote. Hi, mum. It's Daniel. Daniel. She says. How are you? How's Barcelona? It's good. Mum. I have a problem. What's wrong? Has something bad happened? No. Nothing bad, mum. Can you call Julia, please? Tell her that I'm in Valencia. And tell her that my mobile battery has died. Single quote. In Valencia. What are you doing in Valencia? It's a long story, mum. I'll tell you the details later. We say goodbye. I decide to get a hotel room. There is one available up the street. I can go back to Barcelona tomorrow. Right now, I need sleep. I pay for a night's stay in cash. I use the money from my dad. I have no credit cards with me. I go to my room. I take off my clothes and get into bed. I turn off the light and go to sleep. I'm really tired. What a crazy day. Chapter 2.